I'm Hallfríður Tryggvadottir. I write, direct, and produce this film with a collaborator of mine, Vala Omarsdottir. The film is about this moment when this young trans person is taking one of the biggest steps in their life. The film shows the decision making and also how the system really sets us in certain boxes depending on what gender we are. The film is inspired by the experiences of Ugla Stefanía and is made in very close collaboration with Ugla.
Especially in Iceland, there aren't a lot of films about trans people, and usually when you hear about trans people, it's made by people who aren't trans, and they don't have all the information, and the focus of the films or the narratives often becomes a bit skewed and doesn't really tell the full reality of what trans people go through. So we wanted to create something that was, not telling all the same cliches and not focusing on all the same things, and we wanted to do it in a different way. We wanted to create something that was a bit more real and just a bit more authentic about trans people. I mean, I guess the challenges were just to make an authentic film and make sure that we were telling a story that could be reflective of trans people, really. But, in essence, it's only a one-person story. And it's often difficult to create a story that everybody can connect to. So we kind of struggled between making it personal, but also making it relatable for a wider group of people. People often have a very simplistic view of what trans people go through. Trans people, go through years and years of even, torturing themselves really psychologically before coming out. And when they take that step, they have to deal with everyone else around them. And if they want to have access to some sort of medical care, that's years and years of fighting the system, really. And I think that film sort of shows you just a glimpse into what trans people actually have to deal with.
Hefurðu stundað kynlíf? Með hvoru kyninu?
The film is made by an all-female and non-binary team, and that is really much connected to our mission of just changing the game. In film, many positions have been male-dominant, and it's really rare that a team of women and non-binary people come together and do all the positions. When we were casting this film, we really wanted the main role to show the insight of this person. We wanted people to really see the image that this person sees when they look in the mirror.
Immediately we had the question of what gender should the person be who does this role? Because generally when you see Hollywood movies, they always have men playing trans women. And that's something we did not want to do because it doesn't reflect the experiences of trans people. And to us, it sort of enforces the stereotype that trans women are just men in dresses. And we sort of wanted to avoid that completely. So we decided either we get a trans woman who is an actress to do it, or we get a cis woman or someone at least who is a woman to do it.
The performance also makes people question like what gender the leading role is. Gender should not matter this much. We should just be able to be who we are and how we see ourselves.
We created it for trans people that might be struggling. So that's one of my biggest hopes, that it will reach those. But in a wider perspective, we also hope that it gets, the wider public to understand, because trans people need allies and they need people that can support them and understand them. This film is something that I would have loved to see when I was growing up, and I would have loved the people around me to have seen that film. If my family had seen that film somewhere, I possibly could have come out sooner and people would have had more understanding of what I was going through.
We are really proud to be part of this project, and we really think that it's gonna make a difference for the film and the subject to have this platform.